Go. Hello guys, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to discuss the upcoming fight with Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley. The reason this fight is happening is because Tommy Fury pulled out with a rib injury. The funny thing is that Tommy and his brother, Tyson Fury, were saying that, oh, Tommy could beat Jake with a broken rib, but the funny thing is that he's the one that pulls out with a rib injury. I guess that kind of shows that he has a mindset of a quitter, because when you make a claim that you could beat Jake Paul with a broken rib and then you don't actually go out there and fight the motherfucker, then it's like you're kind of like eating your own words. And Jake made Tommy Fury eat his own words. But on the other side, you could look at it as, oh, okay, he has an injury. I mean, that statement that Tyson Fury made was made in jest, and it wasn't something that was to be taken seriously. But on the other hand, we got to look at it from both sides and then really make a conclusion and say that Tyson and Tommy, they didn't know what they were coming into when they were trying to fight Jake Paul. And him pulling out of the fight with an injury, I don't know, it just seems kind of fishy to me, you know? I mean, I'm not doubting the legitimacy of the injury. I'm just saying that, okay, you said that. Why don't you go out there and fight him? Like, go out there and fight the guy. You said that you would fight him, and you should do it. Now, let's take a look at the first fight with Tyron Woodley and Jake Paul. Was that fight close or competitive? What do you guys, was it competitive? Was that fight competitive or not? Was that a competitive fight, or was it a close fight? Or, well, let's see the judges' scorecards for that fight. Okay. Let's see the scorecards. So, two judges gave the boxer, YouTuber, Jake Paul 77-75, 78-74, and then one of them gave it to Woodley 77-75. So it was a split decision victory for Jake Paul, which is interesting. Very interesting stuff. Now let's see the odds for the Paul and Woodley fight. It looks like Jake Paul is almost a 3-1 underdog. No, I mean a 3-1 favor. You know, and then if you look at the way Woodley showed promise in almost knocking Jake out with a right hand, now almost had him stumbling through the ropes, almost knocked out. And then people say, oh, Woodley didn't put the foot on the pedal because there was a no knockout clause in the contract. Woodley couldn't knock Jake out, so he didn't want to let his hands go because of the contract, and he knew that beforehand he couldn't knock Jake out. That's crazy to me. You know, and it's mostly haters and trolls, MMA fans that were claiming that there was a knockout clause, no knockout clause in the contract. And that kind of stopped Woodley from knocking him out. But, you know, there appears to be nothing to substantiate this far-fetched claim. And apparently Jake Paul, he's added an additional $500K if Woodley is able to knock him out. So $500,000 if Woodley's able to knock him out. I mean, this makes things a little bit interesting, don't you think? Like, in my opinion, it kind of makes things a little bit interesting, because it gives Woodley an added incentive to knock him out, and it also puts to rest the rumors that there's a no knockout clause in the contract, which isn't even possible, because if the commission sanctioned that fight, that means the commission's reputation is on the line. Like, this is not a joke. Like, the commission, if they sanction that fight, there's no way this is possible. I think this mostly because people hate Jake Paul so much that even if he does something good, they're going to shit on him. They're going to shit all over him. And it's also because of the way he carries himself. I mean, I don't hate Jake Paul. I think I like him. I actually like Jake Paul. You know, a lot of people don't like the guy. A lot of people on YouTube don't like the guy, but he's making money and he's making moves in the industry. I mean, it's just pure speculation, of course. However, if Woodley knocks out Jake Paul, just think about the memes and the videos we will see if that were to occur. I think the trolls and MMA fans hate Jake Paul so much that even if Jake were to actually knock out Woodley, then they would just write it off as, oh, he took a dive. That wasn't real. That was fake. You know, and then it's like, okay, I mean, Tyron Woodley is a 5-time world champion in MMA, like, and he knocked out Robbie Lawler with a right hand. So Woodley definitely has the punching power to knock him out. But will he let his hands go? That's another thing. Now, in many ways, Jake is hated very much so in the MMA community. I think this stems from the Ben Askren fight. You know, that's the first time they started to hate him, because Jake showed no respect to Ben's skill set as a wrestler, as an MMA fighter. He disrespected him as a man too. You know, and then even though we knew Ben was coming for a paycheck, but fans felt that Ben's accolades as a wrestler and MMA fighter meant that he earned that respect. You know, and to see Jake not giving a quarter turned MMA fans' frowns upside down. But if you take a look at the betting odds for this fight, you're gonna see that Jake is a 3-1 favorite. Woodley's a 2-1 underdog. But does Jake beat Woodley? Does Woodley beat Jake? It just seems like Jake can't win for losing. However, he has created a social media persona for himself, and the hate that he gets thrown at him from the world seems to be profitable for him. And, I mean, he's successful doing that. So maybe he's doing all of this just to gain a following. And obviously, I mean, we all know that Jake, before the boxing, he was a big YouTuber, and he still is a big YouTuber. He knows how to maneuver through social media. He knows how to gain traction. He knows what the algorithm likes and doesn't. I mean, he has a very business-minded mindset, for sure. Definitely a very business-minded mindset. And the reason why a lot of different people are mad is because they weren't able to do what Jake Paul has done, and it's a lot of jealousy going around. It's a lot of jealousy, and it's a lot of hating. It's a lot of, why can he do it and not me? You know, it's like a lot of those things, a lot of those kind of things. And, you know, that's the thing. That's what makes this so interesting. And that's what makes this event so polarizing and the rematch so polarizing. Because a lot of people thought that Tyron should have knocked Jake out. And there's so many questions from that fight. So having the rematch, you know, I wouldn't mind watching the fight. The show must go on. I wanted to see the Tommy Fury fight, but Tommy Fury was a bitch. He pulled out of the fight. So there's nothing we can really do. Like, we're gonna have to watch the Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley fight. I mean, Tyron Woodley is a world champion in MMA. Like, he's not just a scrub. You know, this guy's got fast hands. He's a good counter puncher. He's knocked out multiple opponents in MMA. Like, he's a fucking good fighter. Period. But is he a good boxer? Not really. Like, he's not really a very good boxer. Like, you wouldn't say that Tyron Woodley is going into the, like, goes inside and fights inside and throws hooks to the body and jabs and right hand, like, 1-2s. Like, no, that's not his game plan. His game is to throw big bombs to set up takedowns. But anyways, that's my prediction. I mean, not my prediction. I mean, I will make a prediction as this fight gets closer and closer, maybe fight week. But right now, my feelings are kind of split down the middle. I'm not really sure who to pick. I'm kind of conflicted. But anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm out. Peace.